Wasn't good for me, but I managed through my faith to get through all of that. Now, fast forward, here we are today.
Welcome to KDR TV, Barbara.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time, and thank you very much again for having an opportunity to speak with us, KDR TV. We are located in Minneapolis, and we reach out to the African immigrant community and also the African community in the US and the less privileged people living in the United States of America.
Okay, well, thank you once again for having me, for letting me share my experience with everyone and you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So Sandra, we are really very much happy that you have come out to speak a little bit more about your experiences living with HIV AIDS for a long time. So give us an overview when you knew that you are HIV positive and what actions actually you took as an individual.
Oh, I was 6 months pregnant with my youngest daughter. She's the 12th child that I've had. And that was in April of 1991. At that time, I was devastated. I wasn't so much concerned for me as I was about my unborn child. But through my faith, I knew that whatever would transpire, that the God I worship would give me the strength to get through it. And of course he did. But it was difficult back in those days. I was ostracized. My children were. I had to leave several neighborhoods because people that I trusted with that information about my medical condition, they betrayed me. So I learned to live in silence and in secret, not for me, but to protect my children. It was difficult. Family were treating me as if I was a pariah. Not just to family, but to everybody that knew. So I learned to hide and keep secrets, which wasn't good for me. But I managed through my faith to get through all of that. Now, fast forward, here we are today. Why am I so transparent now? Because it doesn't matter to me anymore, but I had to grow to this. It doesn't matter to me what people think of me, because I'm not defined by HIV. I'm defined by the content of my heart. So, and the HIV community has embraced me in the earlier days, during the 90s. 31 years I've been living with this. Never seen a sick day. And I owe that all through my faith and of course through the medications. But in the early days, there was only AZT. Women that I knew that were pregnant, their children that were positive were given AZT. None of those children are with us today. That's why every day I'm so humbled for the blessings and for my growth. Even after the cancer, I've had stage 4 throat cancer. I've been cancer-free for almost 5 years. Once again, cancer did not define who I was. I raised all of my children and 2 grandchildren I am so blessed. And I remember back in the early 90s, I had asked God to let me live because everybody had me dead and buried, even my mother. And I wanted to just live long enough so that my children could take care of themselves. I never expected to be here 31 years later. I'll be 67 in February. And it's just amazing that I'm still able to tell my journey. And I've grown to the knowledge that we're all here for a purpose. We never leave this plane that we call life until we've done what we were put here to do, till we've completed this journey. And so many people that had me dead and buried, I've been to their funerals, family included, not bragging, just humbled by that fact. So when people are trying to predict your journey, God has one for you, or your higher power, whatever name you want to give him. But there is something greater than ourselves.
Okay, thank you very much. So let me take you a little bit back. When you discovered that you are HIV positive, you said you were ostracized. You know, those days there was a lot of stigma,
Yes.
but you managed actually to raise above that. What you saying, God, I mean, your faith made you to be what you are. Okay, now let's take a little bit an instance of your family. You've talked about some of your family members actually ostracized you. Let use another term of stigmatized you. The family, I mean, your network, your other relatives looked. I mean, they thought that you are a bad person, but you overlooked that, and here today, 31 more years, the Lord has actually given you the faith, the healing, till to date. So, how did you manage as an individual to raise above that? You know, it's not only about faith. How did you manage to raise above that? You know,
I had a purpose in life,
okay,
and that was my 12 children.
okay,
Well, 10 because 2 were grown. They were adults with children of their own.
yes.
But my children, I knew I could not leave my children.
So
in
you
this
looked
world.
at the children and you said the best option, let you live for your children.
Let me live for my children.
That is a great answer.
That's what's kept me going.
Okay.
That's what kept me motivated. I couldn't live HIV. I had to focus on my kids.
Okay.
I took my medication, I did what was necessary. But my focus was on my children,
Okay.
making sure that they became educated for as long and instilled. I didn't have time for anything else outside of the realm of my children.
Okay. So your children gave you the strength to continue living.
They were my strength.
That is beautiful.
They were my strength.
Thank you very much.
All 12 of them.
Wonderful. So, about the medication, you've talked about the medication. You've really taken medication for a long time. Definitely the medication actually, you know, if somebody is looking at you today, somebody might not, I mean, not really somebody, I mean, most people will say, no, Sandra must be lying. You know,
Yeah.
you are not HIV positive.
I've heard that so many times.
Yes.
But looks can be deceiving.
Yes, looks can be deceiving.
Looks
I like
can be
that.
deceiving.
Yes.
I have sat around people that didn't know I was HIV positive and heard them make comments. But at that time, I was still protecting myself. And so I couldn't say anything. And I was thinking to myself, what would they say if they knew
Uh-huh.
that I was sitting here eating off the same plate with them,
Yeah.
smoking off the same cigarette,
Uh-huh.
drinking out the same can, they probably shoot me.
That is so inspiring. That is so inspiring. So right now you're working with an organization called
Aliveness Project.
Aliveness Project. How are they actually ensuring that people like you live a positive life in the community?
When I first came to the Aliveness Project, I had relocated from Chicago in 2011, and they were on 38th in Chicago.
How did you know about them?
My doctor,
Okay.
when I came here, I went to Hennepin County HCMC, and they gave me a list of agencies, and I perused through all of them, and this seemed a better fit for me. So when I came and introduced myself, they all embraced me. The staff and the other clients made me feel like family. That I actually mattered. They assisted me as I was a transplant from Chicago. They assisted me with other programs. They invited me to every event. I was able to socialize where so much as I didn't when I was in Chicago.
Okay. Good to hear that.
Yeah, and I will forevermore be grateful for them.
Thank you.
For accepting me.
Thank you very much. So what do you tell people who are living, positive out there, or people who might actually might be living not knowing that they are positive? What do you tell those people out there?
I believe testing. Testing.
Testing.
I never thought I was at risk. That's why I never got tested. I didn't find out until I was 6 months pregnant. Can you imagine that? 6 months pregnant and being told that you were HIV positive. I thought my life was over. But then I had to live for my child. It wasn't my concern. Testing, protecting yourself. And if you are living a high-risk lifestyle, there are so many options to protect yourself. There's sex toys, there's condoms, there's monogamy, there's one relationship, you know, and sometimes I forget words with my age and the cancer, so please bear with me. But yeah, I'm testing and being careful, because you have to remember, nobody can be an advocate for you better than you.
Yourself. Wonderful. I believe that is a strong one. Also.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So let's now come about, when you discover that you had cancer. You know, you are HIV positive, and what the doctors say or the medical people tell us is that you are very much at risk. They call them opportunistic diseases.
Yeah.
Can actually even now accelerate your sickness, and then things can actually go out bad for your health. So when you discover that you have cancer, what actions did you take in life to ensure that you continue living positive? Because to many people, when they hear of cancer, that's the end. I mean, that's driving a nail into your coffin. So what happened?
For me, when they told me, I looked at the doctors and I said, well, cancer isn't the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life. So tell me what I need to do. And the radiation 5 days a week in my throat. Chemo. Lost a lot of weight, but I've never been a large person anyway. But I walked in every day to radiation, smiling, laughing, because I can't live cancer. I got a life.
Oh, sure.
I gotta travel. I gotta do things.
Sure.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah. Whatever. It was difficult. I had a feeding tube. Couldn't eat. But I never once got so depressed where I just wanted to say, I give up. I've always found with me, when my back is against the wall, that's when I'm at my best.
Thank you.
Because I know that I have to overcome this. I refuse defeat. If I give up, I've already defeated myself. I'm going to try. I want to give it, and if people would just try, and I'm not saying it's easy. Don't think cancer was a walk in the park. Don't think living with HIV was a walk in the park. It's not. I'm not trying to make it sound easy, because it's not. There were days I didn't want to get up. There were days I didn't want to eat. There were days I didn't want to cook. But I knew that it's okay to sit on the pity by 5 minutes. After you sit on the pity by 5 minutes, you get up, brush yourself off, and keep it moving. Because life ain't gonna stop because you sit there. What you're going to do is your life is gonna collapse around you. You have to get up, and it's hard. That's when you go to doing this. Give me the strength, Jesus, just one more day. One day, it actually is.
One day
at a time. It actually is one day
at a time. Thank you very much, Sandra. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the opportunity. I will continue talking to you in the near future, so that you can be encouraging other people who are living with HIV positive.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Kudos to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time again. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.